Good morning, everybody. It's lovely to be back with you again this morning. I'm going to tell you about the prophets this morning. This is the desert. The desert is a dangerous place. People die in the desert. When the wind blows, it changes the shape and people can get lost. During the day, it gets so hot that people have to wear many layers of clothes to protect their skin from the burning sun. When the wind blows, the sand stings your face and your hands, and you need protection from the sand and the wind. At night, it gets so cold that you have to wear many layers of clothes to keep warm. The desert is a dangerous place. People don't go there unless they have to. This is Jerusalem. Here is the city wall. It's the city of David, the city of the people of God. This is Haran. This is Babylon. And the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Sometimes the people of God forget who they are, and they try to hide from God and pretend that He's not there. Sometimes they even worship foreign gods. Other people are so close to God, and He comes so close to them that they know what God wants them to say and do. They are called prophets. Anyone can be prophets, men or women, even children. You might become a prophet. King Solomon was one of those who forgot who he was. And God told him that he would tear his kingdom in two. The prophet Ahijah showed that God knew the best way. He took off his cloak and he cut it into 12 pieces. 10 pieces for the tribes in the northern kingdom around Samaria, the capital, and 2 pieces for the tribes remaining around Jerusalem, the capital of the southern kingdom. After King Solomon died, Ahijah's prophecies came true. The writings of some of the prophets, like Elijah and Elisha, have disappeared. They were either lost or maybe they were never written down. But some prophets wrote down what God told them to say and do, or their friends wrote down their words for them. I'm going to tell you about some of those who wrote their words down for us. Here are 12 scrolls to help us. This one is interesting. It has the writing of 12 prophets on it. They are sometimes called the minor prophets because they did not write as much as some of the others. Let's read from the scroll. The prophet Amos was one of those who lived in the southern kingdom, but God sent him to talk to the kings and rulers of the northern kingdom. Let's see what God said. I hate, despise your feasts, and I take no delight in your solemn assemblies. Take away from me the noise of your songs. To the melody of your harps I will not listen, but let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. This comes from Amos's writings. Now here are the names of all the prophets on this scroll: Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi. Amos spoke for God to the people. This is what all the prophets did. I'm going to put God sent these prophets to the northern kingdom as well as the southern kingdom. So I'm going to put this scroll in the middle to remind you. This scroll is called Isaiah. Some people say that there were 3 different Isaiahs. This scroll has all the writings of the prophet Jeremiah. And this scroll has all the writings of the prophets Ezekiel. Now, let's see what happened. One day, the Assyrians captured Samaria, the northern kingdom. Then they went to Jerusalem and they surrounded the city. The people were very afraid. But eventually, the Assyrians went away. The prophet Isaiah said that the city would fall and that many of the people would be carried away into exile, but a remnant, a few, would be left behind. When the city did fall, it wasn't the Assyrians who captured it, but the Babylonians, and many people were taken into exile. This prophet Isaiah was one of those carried away and taken to Babylonia. While he was there, he said that there would be a highway made straight in the desert so that the people would be able to walk back home to their city. The prophet Jeremiah stayed in Jerusalem. He told the people that the city would fall, but the people would not understand what he was talking about. After a while, Jeremiah and his scribe Baruch left Jerusalem and went off to Egypt to be safe. He was very, very sad. The prophet Ezekiel was one of those who was taken to Babylon. He was one of the first to be taken even before the city of Jerusalem was taken. So he became a prophet in his new home. He said that the city would fall and that people would not be able to go home for a long time. After the city of Jerusalem did get destroyed, he had another vision which was hopeful. And he said that the people would be like dry bones in the valley that put themselves back together again and become people so that they can walk home to their home. The third Isaiah must have been one of those who came home to Jerusalem. The people in Jerusalem were not very happy to see him or the other people who came home with him. The city was still in a very bad state of ruin, and the walls were still black in some places from the fires that the Babylonians had set. Isaiah helped the people to prepare, and the priests to prepare for a time when they would have no king of their own. These are most of the prophets of the Old Testament. We know a lot about them because they wrote down all the things that they were told to say and do a long time ago. We still have prophets today, and they still tell the kings, the people, the priests, the ministers, and the rabbis what God wants them to hear about how God wants us to live the best way. They can come from anywhere, and they can be all kinds of people, even children. Maybe you are a prophet or will become a prophet one day. Now, I wonder, what's your favorite part about the prophets? I wonder, what was the most important part about the prophets? I wonder, have you ever known a prophet, or has a prophet ever known you? I wonder, are the prophets in the Old Testament enough?